it's difficult to know where they see you, whether they see you as human or whether they see you as wolf. But the only thing I can really liken it to is that no matter whether you walk on 2 legs or 4 legs, all they ever seem to see is the position you hold. As long as we can hold that position within their group, then they respect us in the same way. Exactly the same as a dog. We would love to believe it's me, Sean, or you, Martin, that they love, but it's actually the position that you hold within the pack that they respect. If that changes, then you get completely a different association from the dog.
Surprisingly, Sean's position in this pack is not alpha or even beta male. Those jobs are already taken. He is the pack's mediator, settling disputes, and the best way to see that in action is at feeding time.
Oh, there's the guts. Really snap their jaws together. You can hear their teeth clack shut.
That isn't me laughing, it's Sean making soothing wolf noises to keep the peace.
That interaction you see there was a classic. When we had our alpha and our beta going at each other for the right for a piece of food, and that's when tremendous damage can actually occur between these guys. So it's up to you to get between them then as quickly as you possibly can, get the head up, and then draw his attention onto you. That stops them fighting amongst each other.
Right.
You can see the tension's actually mounted up now, so just wait a minute.
Jesus. Topped his head. That's crazy. They fight, and to stop them fighting, he just shoves his head in between them. God, it works though. Look at that alpha just holding the other one down. Well, this is definitely where it all comes from. I've seen it all here. The sort of snarling, the way your dog would if you tried to take its bone away from it. I've seen one chase another one round the corner with its tail between its legs. I mean, there are differences because they're kind of tucking into a deer, and everything's that much more sort of alive and wild. They're like dogs to the power of 10, but they're dogs, all right. They're just like dogs.
And yet my dogs can't smell or hear or hunt like wolves. They certainly don't look like wolves, and they wouldn't last 5 seconds in a fight with a wolf. So how did we get from these to the 400 different dog breeds out there today? Way back on the evolutionary trail, before man engineered Dachshunds and Dobermans and Shih Tzus, what did the first wolf dog look like? And can that missing link between the wolf and my own Mary, Tina and Arthur still be seen today? Well, yes, amazingly it can. Next stop, Australia, for a moment of magic at dawn, and a duet with a dingo called Dinky. There are over 400 million dogs in the world today, and hidden inside every one of them is a genuine closet wolf. Not that many look like wolves anymore, not on the outside at least. Centuries of genetic engineering by us has seen to that. Longer, bigger, hairier, smaller. More like big hamsters than wolves in some cases. Here in Australia, I'm hoping to see what the very first primitive dogs look like. Back before we started playing God with them. Fraser Island off the east coast of Queensland is one of the best places in Australia to see the legendary dingo in the wild. True, there are dingoes on the mainland, but over there, thanks to 200 years of indiscriminate humping with domestic dogs, they're generally no longer classed as pure. Fraser Island, however, is free of dogs, so what you get here is 100% dingo. That's if you can find them, of course. With just 200 left and 1,600 square kilometres of forest to roam free in, they're even harder to spot than a wolf in the snow.
we're up this early, it's 3 in the morning, to get to the other side of the island where there's a good chance we'll see some dingoes, because it gets so hot here during the day that the two ends of the day, sunrise and sunset, are the best times to meet a dingo.
It was in Asia, about 15,000 years ago, that wolves first came out of the wild and teamed up with human beings. Over generations, their behavior softened. They became smaller and better suited to life around people. Long before the shapes we designed, there was really just one dog shape. And around 3000 BC, a handful of those dogs migrated here to Australia with their seafaring owners, which makes the dingoes of Fraser Island our missing link to the modern dog.
What do you think it was that the people who brought them with them got from them?
Oh, they would have been companion animals and that sort of thing. They were probably used for hunting a bit and that, you know. They were widespread through Asia, 4,000 or 5,000 years ago, and once they got to Australia, probably the Aborigines helped them spread throughout Australia, and, they've spread far and wide,
My dogs love the beach, and on my hunt for their ancestral cousins, it seemed somehow right to be watching the waves at dawn, hoping for a glimpse of a pure wild dingo.
There you go, Martin. There's a dingo over there, look.
Wow. Oh my God. How fantastic. That was so exciting. I mean, it's again, it's like they're just dogs, but they're wild dogs. I don't know where they've gone now. Beautiful, lithe bodies. And obviously just having a ball playing in the surf, just like Arthur and Tina.
My first dingo sightings only lasted a few seconds, and it's made me want to try to get a closer look. The hunt is on.
So do you reckon these dingoes that we've seen today probably pretty much look exactly like the earliest dog?
I think so, yeah. And that's the general consensus of the scientific community, is that, these are very much the same as primitive dogs.
But the primitive dingo faces a modern problem. On Fraser Island, it rubs shoulders with plenty of tourists. Some of them want to treat the dingo like their own pets.
We do still have people that think they still need to feed them.
Well, people put food out for them.
Some do, yeah. Getting less and less all the time.
And that's frowned on why?
Well, what it does is those animals then tend to become completely reliant on handouts and that, and they give up their hunting instincts, and it's just easier for them in town, and eventually they get very confrontational and very demanding.
And then you've got a problem.
Then we've got a problem,
Have you had any hairy confrontations yourself?
Yeah, a couple of occasions. And it's quite frightening when you get in that situation, particularly if there's, a pack of dingoes there of 3 or 4 or 5, and they circle around you, and
really,
and, whilst the one in front of you is keeping you busy, the others are trying to sneak in the back and mock you and stuff. So, it can be very, very confrontational, very frightening.
After the thrill of those 2 dingoes at dawn, we've been out of luck. But now Colin has heard reports of a pup scavenging outside one of the tourist resorts. So late in the afternoon, we head off on foot to investigate.
Yeah, the sandbar just over there.
Yeah.
It's a fairly popular dingo haunt.
I didn't realise you had pelicans around here.
There you go, Martin. There's a dingo over there, look. Little pup. Just over in the... See just there? Oh, just gone out of sight there now, but...
What?
Pretty much right on cue. He'll probably come back over that dune out onto the beach. See it there?
Where those people are?
No, back this way. Over here. See that bit of a gully going up there?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just walking back into the gully there now.
Is that the pup?
That's one of the pups, I'd say, yeah. He got that real dingo look about him, the pricked ears and the bushy tail.
Oh, he's beautiful. So how old would you say he is?
3 or 4 months probably. We just weaned that little pup. Just starting to look for some solid food the last month or so, I'd say.
It's just beautiful.